up because as a live streamer, I got to make sure I have everything all in one spot. I was thinking about decor ideas today and I was looking up minimalism. And you guys know that I had mentioned in the past that I really do like the minimalist style. So the minimalist style is super simple. You basically look at not too much stuff. You can see the color pattern over here. You got wood, you got white, you got gray, you got clean lines over here. Just something that you would kind of see in a modern home. So they say less is really more. And you can see like natural fibers over here. This is got wood, natural fibers, white, gray. You see there's like a theme in the colors, and because there's consistency and there's clean lines all around, it just ties everything together. So an example over here, for example, is this little plant, well, fake plant that I have. And you guys have seen this before. So let me zoom out. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I waited 30 seconds, you guys. I hope it didn't cut off. So this plant, I've noticed for a lot of these minimalist homes, they have like a solid. It's usually nothing like an orchid. You will notice that a lot of the plants that I have around, minus that bouquet that I have when Lewis is streaming, a lot of the plants around the house is solid green. And it's because I think it's more soothing and that's what everybody else is doing. So I'm just sticking with that. So we're looking at solid green, we're looking at wood, and we're looking at this sort of like white ceramic thing, porcelain, ceramic, clay pottery. See, it looks pretty clean and it has this like interesting groves in it. And this came from Trader Joe's. This was actually donated at the food distribution thing that I volunteer at. If I'm oh, actually, no. This actually wasn't donated. This was something that I found from diving. My bad. And this, of course, as you can see, is a fake plant. I really like fake plants because, as you guys know, with the great no-see-um thing that happened. By the way, I don't see any no-see-ums anymore. I'm very, very happy. I don't want to have any real plants. If you guys don't have to deal with no-see-ums, then definitely get a real plant. But if you're like me, yeah, you don't want to create a breeding ground. So wood, white, solid green. Remember that, okay? So that is minimalism. Minimalism all just being kind of this kind of clean color thing. But there's also a thing called maximalism. And maximalism, in my opinion, is kind of like a lot of apartments that we see. I'm kind of including this one. It's work in progress. So you'll see like it's a whole bunch of stuff, right? We got busy plant colors, the yellow over here, like zebra print, all sorts of throw pillows, more flowers over here. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me zoom in. Okay, there we go. Sorry, you guys. So we got the yellow plant over here. It's not solid green. We got all sorts of different throw pillows. We got a table that has different colors. It's very, very colorful. And you can see like these kind of tie in with this. And then there's just like color all over the place. Some people really like this stuff, but for me, I kind of think, oh, it's so freaking busy. And there's another downside to this stuff. You know what it is? The more stuff you have, that means usually the more stuff out of your pocket, right? And you know where people usually go if they want to have more decor items? TJ Maxx. So look at TJ Maxx. See this? I know you've all been to TJ Maxx. We're looking at well, what's that place? Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross. It's just a lot of crap. And I know some of you are really into seasonal stuff. But let's just be honest here. This stuff never ends. We got bunny rabbits, we got spring, summer, decor, just like a lot of stuff. And the stuff at TJ Maxx, typically from what I remember, it's kind of like overstock, or it's not like they have a steady supply of a certain item. Like IKEA, they only have like certain products and then they'll carry it for the whole season. For TJ Maxx, for Ross, for Marshalls, it's really a luck of the draw. So it's kind of like a treasure hunt. And when people accumulate this kind of stuff, what does it do? It causes them to be in a cycle of decorating, throwing out old stuff, donating old stuff as well, And then ultimately they have to pay a lot of money because they're always decorating. Someone who is like having this maximalist decor, most likely they say, oh, I want to buy a little trinket so I can put it over here, and then let me buy some decor, like seasonal decor, and put it over here. So I just see this kind of stuff as a money pit for certain people. And um I was looking at Pottery Barn. Pottery Barn is a more expensive place. It's not too cheap. So I've never been to Pottery Barn, but I know a lot of people talk about it. So you look at this stuff. It goes with the clean lines, this sort of stuff, seagrass, unsurprisingly, the solid green plant. I think this is called a fig or rubber leaf. I can't remember. I'm not really too good with my plants, but everything sticks with that whole color scheme. See it? Wood, white, gray, black, solid, freaking solid green plant over there. Oh, look, unsurprisingly, another solid green plant. And then we got the wood, the wooden color, another seagrass, another solid green plant, more seagrass, more wood, more white, some occasional pops of colors with the throw, and this ties in with that. But because everything is kind of simple and it ties in together, people who have this kind of decor aren't really spending that much money on new decor, in my opinion, because like maybe they have space and maybe they go all out on Christmas, but this kind of stuff, like once you have your pieces, once you have your nice vase sitting on here, you're not really going to be in a big rush to buy another vase, right? And you're definitely not going to be buying a printed vase because this white vase matches with this white vase, and then this is kind of like a off. I think this is maybe, I don't know if this is a cup or a vase, but these two, it's kind of all in the same color, tan, white, ivory. You get what I'm saying? And then here's like a gray, and then here's another gray, and then here's a blue. Yeah, so it all kind of ties in together. Like this ties in with this. Personally, I rather do all white or all tan, but these are professional stylists over here. So see this? Add a scrumptious layer that only gets softer with time. So you got, again, white, gray, sticking with this kind of stuff. Everything looks very curated. It doesn't need to be updated. You don't have to walk over to the TJ Maxx, the freaking bunny stuff. So here's an example. Here's an example over here. And I've spoken about this. So here's my solid green plant, my fake plant. Here's my solid fake plant. You guys see it? Oh no, it's a bed. So forgive this. This is my bowl. This was like that $15 bowl that I got for free. Let's see, it has all those little ripples or something, so that looks pretty cool. And then here's my favorite bowl. I linked it in the description. And you can see it all flows together. It looks all nice and clean. We've actually broken two of these bowls. Someone purchased this for us, and I don't know who purchased it for us. And I broke one, and Lewis broke one. I feel terrible because we only have 4 bowls left. But the good thing is that because they're on Amazon, it's really easy to replace. So this matches with this, and it's so nice and clean looking that I don't ever feel the need to go over to TJ Maxx and buy a whole bunch of plates. I have no desire to buy a plate set because these work perfectly fine, and yeah, and they last a long time. I baked in these. If you plate anything in here like a salad or even a grilled cheese sandwich, it looks way more expensive in a plate like this versus a pattern plate. 100%. Think about going to like those fine dining restaurants or those like nice cafes that charge $10 a plate. Yeah, they use these kind of things. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's unusual, but it's more like a cafe look. So if you're making like a 99 cents meal or a really cheap meal, which I do pretty often, put it in a nice plate like this, and then you'll feel like you're treating yourself a little bit more. And yeah, the sense of cohesion here. So white, solid green, wood. I should say it's very effortless, and it kind of is, but I notice this kind of pattern. So I think minimalism is smart because when you know exactly what you want to buy, which could be, in my case, right, solid whites, you have your sets that you already like. You don't really have a need to buy another vase. I have no desire to buy another vase. I have no desire to buy another bowl, another plate. And in that regard, it's very cost savings. So I would actually recommend for anybody who wants to save money, go out, and if you aren't happy with the way, let's say, your place looks, or you think it looks too busy, start stripping out the color. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, I have been talking about this for the longest time, about trying to strip out the color, trying to make sure that, everything, here we go again, everything kind of matches. So here's my little Christmas tree over there. See, tan, tan, tan. Christmas tree. You noticing a trend here? Tan, Christmas tree, solid green, tan, tan, white, wooden color behind there. Yeah, it all, and that tissue box I need to fix. But it all kind of works. And if I had different colors, this wouldn't look as kind of tied together as it is. And I hope that you guys aren't finding yourself, wanting to go over to TJ Maxx, chasing the idea of having like the perfectly styled home, and then you buy stuff after stuff, and then you're throwing away your old stuff you're donating, and you're just spending so much money in this hopes to make your place look nicer, but you're falling a little short. I used to be like that. I used to be the person who used to go regularly over to these kind of stores, these markdown stores. And I used to check out the decor section, and I would say like, oh, I want to buy that. And then I bring it home, and then I realize it clashes with things. And now I realize that I just want to keep doing this like white and wood sort of thing. And that's one of the reasons why you don't really see me or hear me like taking that many stuff when I go diving anymore. When I go dumpster diving, because I'm very selective about what I bring home, and I'm trying to be very mindful about the colors. Yeah, I have no desire to bring in any more plants because I think this place is pretty well stocked in on plants. Let's just be honest here. Like this is a little planty. But I'm happy with what we have in terms of the fake plants. Oh, here, I forgot to show you guys this. See, we got two fake plants over there. See that white? And then I think that's a macrame thing. So that's like a off-white, but it's still creamy white hanger. And the solid green plants, and then the tan. And this thing, I know there's a pop of color in the red, and then there's a little purple. Yeah, but it is what it is. So maybe I'll take out the solid red, maybe not. I don't know. I kind of like it right now, but we'll see if I want to strip out the color from that too. Let's see here. So let me read the chat. Sorry, you guys. It doesn't update while I'm streaming, so you'll see me you will see me talk about things, and then I'll be like, "Oh, wait, hold on. I got to read chat cuz I'm like 20 minutes behind or something." Oh, I'm so sorry. It cut off. Oh, no. Okay, so what I had spoken about is I was speaking about decorating, and I was talking about places or things that I was looking at for inspiration. And oh my gosh, freaking thing. And what I was talking about was for minimalism, you don't have that much stuff over here, right? You can see it's kind of sparse. It has clean lines. It has like the gray, the white, the wood. You see these kind of themes. You see this is called seagrass, seagrass, wood, gray, white. Just as long as you have that cohesion, it works. Now this is minimalism. There's another thing called maximalism, and maximalism is just basically put a lot of crap in an area. And Lewis would probably say I'm a maximalist. But you see, like this stuff is not cheap. See that? Like that is a lot of stuff that you have to buy. And I feel like when you go to a lot of these stores, you know, these like TJ Maxx, Ross, Marshalls, they have a lot of this stuff. It's like buy, 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 and it's just like it's just trying to hit you with all this stuff that see like this. It's just like a lot of stuff, or it's a lot of busy, and I actually don't like this because I used to think this is cool, but I think that this is too overtly stimulating. Like when I look at this stuff, I don't feel calm. I feel very hectic because I see all these colors lying around. So you can see like the feel of this or this, right? See this? Like every single painting or picture costs money. So it costs more money to be a maximalist than a minimalist. And when you go to a lot of these stores, right? They're trying to encourage you to purchase stuff. And if you don't purchase stuff, they aren't going to be too profitable. So that's why I think there's a huge push for people to be you know, to be like hyper consumerist and say like, oh yeah, you know, here's a pretty table, buy this. Here's a pretty vase, buy this. You know, here's a pretty picture, buy this too. Because these businesses want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And for the stuff that isn't sold, 100% this stuff gets tossed into the trash. So it goes in dumpster, and people like me rescue things like this, and this whole thing was salvaged. So from the base to this to the fake plant. Yeah, so but it works with the color scheme because it follows that solid green plant, white planter, and wooden base. No, it's okay, it's not about like you can be minimalistic, but what I'm talking about is decor when you're a minimalist. Just like watch whatever you're buying. You know, there's like if you have something like this, which is really simple, if you have a clashing item, it just doesn't look as good next to it. So for instance, right? Like my little plate here, right? And I know some of you guys will think this is really cute, but you see my little alpaca over here? This? Like it looks pretty cute, but if I had a bunch of these alpaca mugs or all these different designs, it wouldn't look so clean. So what I'm trying to say is buy plain pieces, and then when you see them all together, you're going to realize, like, wow, this looks a little bit more elevated. And you aren't going to want to spend as much money on decor because you're gonna like how the clean look of it is, and then yeah, and then you can use that money and invest or buy other stuff if you want to, you know, worthwhile stuff. I know some people, it's like they're always buying new like dishware, or you know, if they have like one pattern print and then like three plates break or something like that. I've already broken two of these bowls. They have mismatching sets, and when you have mismatching sets, you're like, oh crap, you know, if I buy a new set, the patterns are not going to look good. So then some people would say, I just want to get rid of my whole set completely because I have different patterns. So if you have white, you don't have to worry too much about it. Like this kind of bowl, although I might not be able to find the exact same bowl, if I have another white bowl of a similar shape or similar size, they will work together because the colors match. Like these are two different things, but it kind of works together because it is white with white. See where I'm getting at? Yeah, so Dirty Dan says maximalism is grandma's house. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like a lot of grandma houses, you got so much like antique pieces, and they're nice, you know, don't get me wrong, but those pieces are really fragile, and not all those pieces are microwavable if you're talking about plates. So I'm sure you guys have seen like the really vintage looking plates. It's kind of like I forgot what it's called. Not Corningware, but it's like this brown ceramic plate kind of thing, and it just looks old, and it is old. It doesn't look clean, and those kind of things. It's like people. don't really want them in general. And if you guys, let's say you guys are moving or you guys are renting, if you join, let's say, a free cycle group or a buy nothing group, if you have plates like this, and let's say you don't want to crawl them across the country, it is going to be so much easier to get rid of plates like this versus the pattern stuff. Because I have seen people say, oh, I'm moving and here's all my plates and here are my bowls. Does anybody want it? And then you got people who say, I'll take the whole entire thing because the whole entire thing is white. So if you want to if you want to encourage the chances of people taking your plates or anything, I would highly suggest just get white because people like the color white a lot. Oh, this plant, it is from Michael's. I don't know if they carry it anymore, but I like it because I like how it has it has these squiggly bits, for lack of a better word. I think it's supposed to be a Caletheia Freddy. You remember Georgie the plant that I had to give away? Yeah, this is how Georgie was kind of supposed to look like if he got a lot of water and care. And Georgie's in a really good home, but this plant, it has the nice little things, and it just like the flow of it does not look fake. And yeah, I don't have to maintain it. If we go, let's say, on a trip for 2 weeks, like nobody has to water the plant. It's like simple to take care of. So yeah, people should get real plants, but if people, let's say they are always traveling, or let's say they have limited mobility, or they live a lifestyle where they keep forgetting to take care of their plants. Because let's be honest here, like some plants you gotta really be invested into how much you water the plant, fertilize the plant, or you gotta watch out for pests, make sure the plant has enough sunlight or not too much sunlight, and the humidity levels. Yeah, it's not just some plants, it's not just water and that's it. So I got rid of a lot of the plants we had in the house because when we had the no-see-ums in here, right? They breed in moist soil. And because they're already on the apartment, I thought to myself, crap, if I'm watering these plants can all be safe havens for them. And I did not want to have infestation that's coming from the soil. So I gave away all my plants, none of them got trashed, and they all got rehomed. So what I do now is I have one green onion plant, that's it. But the rest are all fake plants. Do I recommend going to a thrift store or marketplace for people who don't go diving? Of course. I went to thrift stores a lot when I was in Hawaii. You have Savers is kind of expensive. Goodwill is kind of expensive too. But you can also go to those little church thrift stores. You might have seen them, like they're really small church thrift stores attached to churches. Those are good. Garage sales are good as well. Swap meets are good as well. And if you go to a swap meet, of course, make sure you bring cash. And don't be afraid to haggle. If someone wants, let's say, $3 for this plate, don't be afraid to offer them $2. And if they say, or yeah, don't be afraid to offer them $2 because technically, most likely they'll be like, okay, you know what, you can have the plate for $2. Yeah, I am actually the main decorator of the apartment. I'm trying to minimize a little, but you know what? I mean, like before, I used to have a lot of free boxes going out. Now it's snowing, so I don't really want to have a free box outside because if I do, it's gonna get snowed on. It's liquid damage, that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of waiting for the snow to go away, and then I'll put stuff outside. No, I have no desire to accumulate really more stuff. There's like little decorative touches that I would like to add in if I come across it, but overall, like a lot of the apartment, I'm pretty much happy with it. So, and then the other thing about diving is that I don't really want to dive unless like if I find a lot of stuff, I don't bring it home unless I have a way to offload it. If I'm not taking it for myself, I need to I have to do that. Either that or this place is going to look like a storage unit, 100%. So, for food, I'm not worried about it. You guys know I always volunteer at a distribution thing. So if I do pick up any food or let's say pastries, which I have been not being able to find for quite some time because of the competition, I can bring it home, right? And then the next day it will be out of the house. So there's no problem with that. But the one thing about divers or dumpster diving that some dumpster divers have the issue is that they'll find a lot of stuff, perfectly usable stuff, but then they'll find huge quantities of it. They want to bring it all home, they bring it all home, and if they have no way to get rid of it, it just becomes a huge mess. And I've seen multiple pictures of these people with really good intentions just hold on to stuff. Some people they'll say like, "Oh, I'll have a yard sale and then I'll offload the stuff there, or I'll donate it." But for the people who try to resell it for some money, it's very very easy for that stuff to back up because they might not have as many buyers as they expect. So, for instance, right? Let's say I came across a whole pack of hand lotions, right? So I find, let's say, a 50 pack of hand lotions, and I say, hey, this stuff is worth $10. Let me try to sell a big bulk load of this for $2 each, plus maybe $6 shipping or something like that, or $10 shipping, if they want to put in like a medium flat rate box or so. So while I'm waiting for a buyer for my cheap hand lotion, it's just accumulating more and more and more. And that's why people can end up with really, really, really cluttered places. So I try to avoid that by not even picking up that much. But the stuff that I do pick up, technically, it's stuff that I directly use. So you guys know I picked up, I think it was something like over $700 worth of makeup stuff, and I have it as backup in case I ever want to play dress up one day. And I have been dabbling with it, but yeah, yeah, those gummy bears. I still have the gummy shots. I still have like about, I think, 5 boxes of them. I gave a few away, but it's hard to give away because you have to be 21 or older, yeah. But they're still good, and because they're gummies, it's like sugar and gelatin. It's gonna last basically forever. So I don't see any problem with that. Gummy bears has high sugar content, so what's gonna happen to them? Maybe they'll get a little bit more chewy, and that's about it. So, but I got rid of a lot of gummy bears. I picked up, I think, about 52 bags of gummy bears. I gave away about I gave away about 40, 48 or 49 of them, and then I kept 3 or 4 for myself. So now I only have, I think I only have 1 bag of gummy bears left. That's it. So that's how I make sure that it doesn't become like a food crazy situation over here. I gotta always make sure that I have a way to get rid of the stuff. So yeah. So no, I have not actually, Wes. So here's another example of this stuff. See this? See this kind of apartment? See how it's all this, like this is the whole maximalist. You got all these little trinkets over here. You see the trinkets, and then you got these books, and then you got these picture frames and more picture frames, and then all these throw pillows and more books, and then more trinkets over here, and then all this stuff on the table that's all different colors, and the roses, and it just looks cluttered because it is cluttered. So if a person like this has to move, they have to pack away all these little picture frames, right? And maybe this won't work at their new place because these picture frames are built for this space. You see where I'm getting at? So they might have to buy more picture frames, or maybe they get tired of it and then they get rid of these things. Maybe they resell it. A lot of people just choose not to resell, they'll just donate it. So that's money that they spent for this stuff that just goes out the window once they give it away if you don't keep it. So I see this as like, $10, $10, $10. It might be all cheap stuff, but it adds up. And then when people spend more money on this kind of decor stuff, it takes away from money in their bank account. And you guys know I'm a real big supporter of investing. If you spend $10 on a picture like this, right, that's $10 less that you have to invest in. So I see a lot of decor stuff. It's like if I was to buy something, I have to know that that stuff is going to be used and it will be stuff that I could use for a number of years. For a lot of the stuff that I pick up, it's free, so I have no guilt about putting it outside for free because yeah, it's not like I lose money picking it up. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, see, so when you go to like some of these stores, you guys know thrift stores too, right? They got non-matching tables. So you'll go into, let's say this person picked up one from a thrift store, and then later on they're like, oh, hey, you know what? I need another table. Let me pick up another one. Yeah. So and then maybe one day they'll get irked at it, right? And they'll say, I don't want to have two unmatching tables. Screw it. Let me just buy two matching tables and then they'll get rid of this table. And then they'll get rid of this table possibly. I also don't like that it's two different lampshades. That's just me. You see how this one's smaller than this one? I like having symmetry. Two at one side or yeah, just two. See, they have like the symmetry here. You see you got the brown pillow with the blue pillow. See outward, outward, inward, inward, but it doesn't carry over to here or here or here or here. So, yeah. So my recommendation again is just stick with white. Don't fall into the whole buy multicolor stuff. You guys know I really color. I'm a big fan of colorful stuff, but I reached that age that I realized that having all this colorful stuff, at some point, if you have so much of it, it just starts clashing. It just starts looking messy. And it's not because the place is messy. You see, this place is not considered too messy, right? Organized. I mean, it looks a little cluttered here because you got books over here and books over here. But the colors aren't doing any favors. If there was cohesion, it would look a lot more calming. And yeah, see, like this, like, yeah, this, like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel a little anxiety just looking at this because the pictures are so big and I feel like it's, okay, that's a real dog. But you see, it's like everything is just kind of all over the place. And then you got, what, three different colored chairs and yeah, just having more bigger stuff makes a room look smaller. I don't know how big this room is, but it looks very like it's closing you all this versus if you have minimalism, it looks it doesn't look, it looks, see, freaking solid plant over here. Solid, solid, or it'll have like white flowers. That's about it. Yeah, that's a solid green and that's a solid green there. Oh yeah, see here. Look, see the white flowers here? This is what I was talking about. Oh, see these wooden beads over here? So some people like to decorate the wooden beads. Will know exactly what about because look at one of my candles. I actually have the a wooden necklace that he sent over, and I have it as decor. So I was looking for these kind of wooden beads for a long time, and when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I know the perfect use for them. And then here's a solid. So wood color, white, gray or black, and then clean line, glass. This kind of glass ties in with the picture over here. See the color? Kind of looks like a bluish color over here, bluish color over there. So I don't think, and maybe I'm just saying this, but I don't think decorating is that hard. I think that you just need to have a lot of pieces that just kind of work with each other, like wooden, that white pottery look next to each other, the glass candle, solid green plant. Look, another solid green with the white pottery. You guys noticing a lot of look, see these kind of like wicker wicker things, white pottery, solid green. You're gonna see similarities. The more you look at this stuff, you're gonna realize like, man, there's so much freaking overlap. It's like there a lot of these places are just selling the same freaking stuff, but it works because it's like you just need these to stick with the color palette or texture palette, and you're good. Yeah. See, so see, white, tan, or gold. And then you got the wooden utensils that always make everything. Wooden utensils always makes everything look more expensive. And yeah, see, this matches with this. And yeah, I like having plates that have unique textures or bowls that have unique textures because it just looks more aesthetic. So you can probably find something similar if you go to a thrift store or or TJ Maxx, this kind of stuff. I've been so conditioned to think whenever I see these kind of like acacia looking wood sort of thing. What is this? Olive wood? Acacia wood? Acacia wood? Let's see. See, acacia wood. I think that's how you pronounce it. See it? This stuff, I always think like, man, these things are pretty expensive. So just know whenever you see this kind of like olive wood, see? See, olive wood, acacia wood. Look at that, black marble. Black marble fruit bowl, $99. So just kind of surround yourself with looking at these more pricier stores, Pottery Barn, and that way you can kind of see what more expensive stores carry, and then find something similar at a cheaper store. I don't foresee myself ever shopping at Pottery Barn unless there's a piece that I really, really like. But yeah, I look at these kind of stores because it's really good inspiration. I have no desire looking at buying a buying a $20 snack bowl, but maybe someone does, and it does look it's very unique. So if I saw the snack bowl, I would know that this is not like mass produced kind of bowl. It looks special, and it stands out. Olive wood, yeah, these olive woods is expensive. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Look, it's a little ghost. Oh, that is so cute. $50 for this. $50 for this little boo guy. He's so cute though. It's so cute, but I know myself very well. I'd be like, well, Erica, why would you be storing something like this for all year just to whip it out for Halloween? Maybe some people really like this cute little ghost thing. I always think about pros and cons. Like I might see some decorative stuff like this little bunny thing over here, but yeah, I don't want to store it. I don't want to store it. I'd just rather go with like a plain white bowl, serving bowl, something that is that I can carry over throughout the seasons, and it just works. See, like this, I'm not a big fan of it. Not a big fan of this. Not a big fan of that. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. Like individually, they might look cute, but remember, a lot of the stuff you really should get as a set because this would not really match with like that, and it's going to be hard finding matching pieces in the event you buy four bowls like this and one breaks and you want to replace it. Yeah, look at this. It's a $59 lobster enamel bowl. Oh gosh, I have a thing against patterns like this on bowls. It just triggers me. Oh, that looks cool. Look, it's a sea urchin serving bowl. I wouldn't get it, but look at that. It's $199. Looks pretty damn unique, doesn't it? How many times would you see a sea urchin bowl? So yeah, that looks like it's the whole bowl section. If I had to pick a bowl, I would not buy a bowl from here. You guys can see in the link in the description. Well, this bowl at least, my favorite. This one. I promise you guys, like I only tell you guys about this bowl because I plan on getting like if because I broke two already, I know in the future if I want to get a replacement, I know exactly what I'm gonna buy and they still make it. So I think it's like six of them for $36. It might seem kind of pricey, but if you don't break them, they will last you many, many, many years. And if you do break them, you don't have to worry about having mismatched pieces. Yeah, so I do look at interior decorating stuff time to time. I always like looking at expensive or more expensive stores. I know some people will laugh and be like, Erica, you think Pottery Barn's expensive? No, I like looking at more expensive, like higher end places like Pottery Barn, CB2, EQ3, Williams Sonoma, and then get ideas from there. Look at Williams Sonoma. William Sonoma. So where are we here? Let's find the bowls here. Do I find gifts here? Where's new? Do they have bowls here? I'm pretty damn sure they have bowls here. I know they have cookware, but I haven't looked at their bowl section. Let's see. Cookware, homekeeping. Bowls, where are you, bowls? Okay, here we go. Dinnerware plates. Bowls. So like, see, look, they have bowls over here. It's like $39 for a set of six. And yeah, but look, they have nice pretty bowls. They have this little, I can't even pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's like a porcelain ceramic bowl. Ooh, this is so pretty. It looks so clean. And I'm sure it doesn't scratch like my freaking IKEA bowl. Oh, wait, it only has 3 stars. Why does it only have 3 stars? Look at that. They tell you how this fancy bowl is made. Okay, let's see. Is it made in China? I hope it's not made in China. It's not made in China, right? Like, look how nice and clean. Can you guys see that? Look how nice and clean looking that plate looks. Look how pretty this mug is. So I told you guys in a previous stream, when I look at mugs, I always look at the way it's shaped. And you can tell this is not a mug from a bar, 100%. Because based on the unique looking shape. And sure enough, this is a $25 mug. Look at this pretty porcelain dinner plate. That looks like something you would see at an expensive restaurant, and they'll have like a little piece of steak or something over here, like, or 2 lamb chops like crisscrossed or something. Yeah. And then here's another plate. But look, if I wanted to buy the salad plate, that's $107. Ah. So you better not break any of these plates if you decide to go with these ones. But I know myself, you know, I can be butterfingers. In the last 6 months I've broken, or the last 8 months I've broken one bowl. I've broken one bowl, one plate, and it's just slipped from my hands. So I don't want to buy any Williams Sonoma stuff because I know I'm gonna drop it. Look how pretty this. Like, look how clean this cereal bowl is. Is that unique looking or what? That's a sexy looking bowl. Look at that. Okay, it doesn't look so cool as that color. But something like... Wait. Wait, it just looks like... Yeah, I like this color, matte gray. But it doesn't match with any of our decor. But it's a nice thing. Anyway, yeah, just... Yeah, I would say... See, so if you have like white background and you have all this like plate of the same color with the one colored greenery... How original, right? The one color greenery... It kind of all just looks kind of calming. But it also can look very depressing. It depends. So yeah, I'm a big fan of white. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, look at this. $99 bowls. Let's see why this bowl is $99. Is it just one? Oh, it's one bowl. One bowl is $100. And it only gets 3 stars? What? So look, when you have an expensive bowl like this, and you have it on Williams-Sonoma, they actually give you the back history about the brand. It isn't like, yeah, it's made in China. So you get to know how the porcelain is made. You have really a nice craftsmanship piece. Okay, so let me figure out where that pretty bowl is. Hey, where'd that pretty bowl go? Oh, do I not see the bowl? Uh-oh, beautiful, but beware of the microwave. Uh-oh. Yeah. Can you imagine you spent a lot of money on a plate? You spent a lot of money on a plate and then it shatters possibly in the microwave? Rip. Rip. So yeah. Oh, yeah, see, this is what I have. My favorite plate is a pasta bowl. That's what it is. See? Kind of like this. See, but instead of buying a set of 4 from Le Creuset, you can buy my favorite one for $36. I'm just, you know what? I know it seems like I'm shilling these plates hard, but I'm not kidding you. I really, really like these pasta bowl plates. Wow, that's a pretty cute bowl. That looks super nice. But it won't match with any of the decor. Like, I feel like I get a headache looking at some of this stuff. Sicily pasta and salad bowl set. Oh, geez. If one of these things broke, I'd be like, oh. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. $120 for what? 3 little plates? 4 plates? No, yeah, that's salad. I'm so unrefined. So 4 salad and then 1 big pasta bowl. Let's look at the sale section. Maybe the sale section will have something nice. Let's see. Come here, sale. Cookware? Okay, I don't think I'm gonna see it. Food, homekeeping, garden. Cookware? I don't think it's cookware. Yeah, so Williams-Sonoma is basically a place of really expensive dishes, and they have all clad. See this all clad? This I see. I've heard people talk about all clad, and I've always thought about as like the creme de la creme of cooking stuff. Right now, what do I use to cook with? Oh, I use a cast iron skillet. But other than that, I use some kind of cheapy like pots and stuff. But yeah, whenever I think about all clad, I'm like, ooh, fancy, fancy. So this place, as like some people would say, it would be full of bougie stuff, and Yeah, but it's nice to walk in occasionally. I walk in maybe twice a year. I see what they have, and I always walk out empty-handed, but I like having that experience, seeing this nice stuff, and ooh, I'm a big fan of Instapot. I use that every week. Look at these precision knives. Ooh, this is nice. Right now I'm using a dollar store knife. I'm using one from Daiso, which is not a bad knife. I do have to sharpen it, but I've always wondered if I use any of these like $100 Santoku knives, like how would it, or like this one, like a 337, no, $229 knife. Like what my difference would be. Probably not much. It'd probably be a little sharper to cut with, but I just chop vegetables and throw it into an Instapot, so I really don't need to have a $300 knife. Yeah, I'm just gonna continue using my $3.50 Galaxy Daiso knife. No, we do not only like white, Tim Tam. We like aluminum, okay? Get it right. Aluminum is the way. What's wrong with paper plates and plastic forks? Okay, so Derek, I will tell you this, okay? I don't know how much, if you really are using paper plates and plastic forks, I kind of see it as like it's such a waste to use that kind of stuff because then you constantly have to buy plastic utensils and then you have to buy paper plates. And if you have a dishwasher, I rather just wash it rather than just keep buying plates and throwing stuff and contributing to the landfill. So I don't even use plastic utensils. I prefer using metal, like metal fork, metal knife, metal spoon. So when we go and get food delivery, if I get plastic utensils, I don't even use them if I'm at home. No, my dollar store knife, I do sharpen them. I do sharpen it, so it's not like I'm worried about it. I do have a knife sharpener, but I can't justify it. I use the same knife to cut vegetables. I use to cut meat, to cut watermelon. Yeah, and if I feel like it's a little dull, I'll just put it through a little knife sharpener a few times, and I'm pretty good. So. I don't have any desire to buy any of these expensive knives, but I guess if I was like loaded in money, maybe I would think about it. If I was making $500,000 a year. You're probably thinking like, Erica, really? You want to make $500,000 a year and then you'll buy yourself a $150 knife? I'd say, yeah, probably. Actually, the only thing I would want to get, but I really don't need, would be a bread knife. And I don't need that because I'm not even eating bread anymore. I'm eating keto bread. So, yeah. Bread knives are very useful. So, I only really use one knife. I use either two knives, either a butter knife if I'm trying to spread things like peanut butter or mix things. No, actually, I use mix things with a spoon or a fork. And my Daiso Galaxy knife. Here, let me show you guys this. So you guys see these expensive premium knives. If you guys are ever curious about what kind of knives I like this one, this whoosh off, but I prefer to get vintage knives. I feel like they kind of cheapened out on their quality, so I think the vintage knives that I buy is the ones from Japan. So these are older knives, and a lot of like brands, sometimes I'm kind of disappointed because I feel like they just cheaped out on stuff. And Louis Vuitton is a really good example of that. If you can look on YouTube, they say that Louis Vuitton is now made, I think, in Texas. And the quality of Louis Vuitton bags now, if you get it from the USA factory, it's absolutely crap compared to the one made in France. So let me check this out really quick. Galaxy. Here you go. So this is my knife. Oh wait, not this one. Oh, here we go. This is Erica's expensive knife over here. See that? It is actually, I think, $3.50 if you go to a Daiso store, but if you buy it online, it's 10.97. I have no problem using this knife. I was looking online and I was kind of curious because I saw it at the dollar store. And this is not really a dollar store, it's like $1.50 in the US. But their knives and some of the other stuff is like a little bit more expensive. So this I think is 3.50. So I looked at the reviews of it because I was like thinking, how good is a 350 knife? And I was reading and people said, oh, it's pretty good. So 350, I thought I have no problem with it. Let me buy it. And then I bought it because all the knives here originally were a total piece of crap. I'm not kidding you. Like the knives here, before I brought in my $3.50 knife, it was a liability. That thing was duller than a butter knife. So dangerous. So yeah, I've been using this knife and I'm pretty happy with it. So, yeah, if you guys are on a budget, I would recommend using this Galaxy. I think it's a Galaxy. Yeah, Galaxy kitchen knife. This is the exact same one I use. I use it for cutting meat, cutting watermelon, cutting vegetables, cutting everything. Yeah, everything basically. Everything. And I love it. I've been using it for about over a year, and I just bring it through that knife sharpener a few times. You know the ones with like the little two you just pass it through a handheld sharpener a few times. Yeah, I do it about like 5 times or so, and it's perfectly fine. So water, one can argue the water spent on washing dishes is just much of a waste. You know what the difference is, Derek, though? If you use a if you use paper plates or if you use plastic utensils, the plastic utensils is not going to decompose. So I feel more comfortable washing a plate and then let's say, and dishwashers don't even use that much water. I think it uses maybe like 5 gallons of water or less to wash the whole thing and sanitize it. It's so much better. Like I never have to go out and think like, oh crap, I ran out of paper plates. The only time I could see really wanting to use paper plates is if you have a party, plastic utensils, and that's it. Keto bread is bread made out of almond flour. Yeah, I mean, like it's no problem putting the dishes in the dishwasher. Sometimes like if I overcook something or if something's stuck to the pan, I'll let it soak for a few hours, like a little shallow amount of water, and then that way it loosens it up, and then I'll put it in the dishwasher. But it's not hard to load a dishwasher at all. Yeah, so yeah, you know what? I should actually put that in the community post, this Louis Vuitton thing. Oh yeah, closed restaurants have a lot of stuff. No, I actually don't mind it at all. So normally what I do is after I eat dinner, that's when I'll run dishes or I'll run it overnight. So while I'm sleeping, it will run and then, but usually what I like to do is after I eat, clean up a little bit, throw it in the dishwasher, right? And then before I go to sleep, I open the dishwasher up because we have plastic inside and plastic doesn't dry so quickly. So if I open up the dishwasher door, whatever the wet plastic is inside of there, it dries overnight. And then I don't have to worry about it. You guys, if anybody uses a dishwasher, they'll know exactly what I talk about. Like this kind of stuff dries quickly, but when it comes to plastic, for whatever, the water just kind of sits there. So yeah, it's really simple. And then when I wake up, everything's nice and dry, and then I put it away, and then rinse, repeat kind of thing. I after I eat, I put the dirty dishwasher straight into dishwasher. End the day, run the dishwasher. Yeah, it's really simple, and I don't have to worry about again. I don't have to worry about buying plates. I don't have to worry about plastic utensils. It's just a habit. So I do it every single day, almost every single day, about 5 times a week. Some days we don't go through that many dishes, so I don't have a full dishwasher. But yeah, you just get into the routine. I rather do that than use paper plates, because paper plate, like I said, I'm just like, it's kind of flimsy. It's contributing to landfill waste. Yeah. And I don't know how many paper plates you go through, but if you go through like a lot of paper plates, that cost adds up slowly but surely. And then, especially if you want to buy the better paper plates, because there's some paper plates that are just, I feel like it's almost not see-through, but it's like a coffee filter. It's just terrible. Terrible. Not like the Dixie kind, the really hard one, the really durable stuff. So, yeah. So yeah, here's my salad plate that I use. Link is in the description. I love it so much, you guys. This is the best-selling bowl on Amazon, I believe, for pasta bowls. And I use the 30-ounce one. Of course, I have the white ones. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Highly. And if you guys move and you guys need to get rid of these things, 100% someone will take it if you post it for free. You do not have to worry about these plates sitting around like grandma's plates. Ah, okay. So Derelict just doesn't use paper plates, just playing devil's advocate. Yeah, it's like I know some people who use paper plates and they feel like they have to buy all that stuff and all that cost adds up. That's why I mentioned that kind of stuff. So, I just wanted to finish this video, this 1 hour video, not a short video, with a few things. This is my little investment calculator, as you guys know. So instead of spending your money on a lot of crap, a lot of home decor items, just stick with, in my opinion, the tried and true clean colors, white, solid green plants, wood. And if you have it at a certain way, it's like you don't feel like you gotta chase a lot of the holidays. You can do like certain touches, like, really low cost, cheap stuff, but you're not gonna be one of those people who's like, oh, I gotta make sure, I spend $100 every season decorating. I'm a big fan of cutting out like construction paper things, get the paper snowflakes. If Valentine's Day comes around, cut out some red hearts, stick it on the walls. It's like super cheap, or better yet, that way you don't have to store it. For paper, you could just throw it in the recycle bin, and construction paper is good. So, always creative ways to go about decorating. And yeah, so if for investment, I will end with this. If you invested $30,000 into investments, right? Depending on what it is, and then let's say you have it for 30 years, and then your rate of return is 20%. And 20%, you think is ambitious, but Amazon averages about 30% a year. And then some ETFs average about 30% a year as well. You guys can look up, I think, QQQ and ARKK. Those are two that I really, really like. If I had a kid, I probably would go 50% QQQ and 50% ARKK. And yeah, if you just put in that $130,000 and you just let it sit there, so you don't contribute anything at all, in 30 years, if the rate of continues to grow, you will have $7 million, assuming it has a solid rate of return for 20%, right? And you can see when you first start, it seems like, oh, I don't get that much. I only got $6,000. But then the next year with the $36,000, the 20% becomes 7,000, then 43,000, 8,000. You can see it just slowly grows bigger and bigger and bigger. At the 10 years, right, you're raking in $30,000 a year in return. 11 years, 37. 12 years, 44. And you don't have to do anything. You just sit back and relax, and the money just racks up. So when you hear about people who say, oh yeah, I just have investments, and yeah, I don't work anymore, my investments just tide me through, depending on how much money they have, they could be raking in a big amount of money. So for the person who has, let's say, 300,000 invested, right, for example, right, 300,000, and they throw it in instead of 30,000. Like, look at that. I don't, she's like, that sounds crazy, right? But that's assuming 20% return every year. So the first year they make 60,000, then 72,000, then 86, 103. So at this around this range, you're already at like what? The top 10%, top 5%. And yeah, you can just ride. And this is how people get rich, they just at some point, like what, 15 years down the line, they're raking in $770,000 because they have 3.8 million dollars. So a person like this, right? They could say, "Oh, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna get a Lamborghini," and they can afford it because, yeah, assuming that it's just only half over here, and then if it dents them, like they could just wait longer. See? You just see it like grow and grow and grow. And I'm a big fan of this kind of investing. And so if I had a kid, I would do $10,000. Let's say the rate of return is 20%. Maybe when my kid turns the starting balance for this one is 10,000. If you invest $10,000 and you have a rate of return for 20%, in 30 years, even if you don't contribute anything, right? You just do a flat $10,000, in 30 years, you will get $2.3 million, assuming that that rate stays constant. If it fluctuates a little, let's say it goes 15% a year instead, then you end up with 662,000. But still, you don't have to do anything. You just put in your $10,000 investment, wait 30 years, and boom. That's the importance of saving money. And I will always stress that on my channel. I hope you guys invest long term in some stocks, and then you just throw the money in there. Just don't do anything. Just enjoy your life. Because when I was growing up, I didn't learn this kind of stuff. And I always heard that, Erica, you just got to work hard and you got to make a lot of money so that way you can retire. Because if you don't make a lot of money, you won't be able to retire. And now it's like when I look at this stuff, I don't believe that you really have to, you have to go in this whole idea that you just work for the hourly wage. I think the thing that people don't factor in mind is it's important to work hard, but it's also important to invest your money, because if someone can just have $10,000 and just let it sit there for 30 years and then they end up with 15%, it ends up with 662,000. This is money that can be used for medical expenses or hospice care when they get older. So if let's say I have a kid, right, and I lived alone, um, or yeah, I was worried about geriatric care for myself. I know that there are certain people who are senior citizens who they worry. They say, man, I hope I have enough in case I have to go to a hospice. In the event that if this works out, I will have more than enough money, in my opinion, for hospice care, if something happens to me. And I want to, I made it my like an absolute thing. Like if I had a kid, I would do this $10,000 investment because I would want to make sure that my kid understands investing. And then let's say when they're 18 years old, that $10,000 turns into $123,000, right? I don't have to add any more money. I just have to pick something that has a rate of return for 15 years, and they can enjoy their life as a kid and they can see their money grow. And I hope this site is around. It's called, what's it called? It's called calculator.net, investment calculator. I mean, this freaking thing changed my life. As simple as it sounds, it really changed my life, because I realized, like, yeah, it's doable. You might get disheartened, right? The first year you're like, oh, I only got 1,500. Okay, great, 1,700. I'm not seeing how I'm gonna get so. I don't see how I'm gonna make it, but this number just gets higher and higher and higher. And then at some point, it's clocking in $10,000, $12,000, $14,000, $16,000 a year. Continue to do this for, let's say, 32 years, which is the age that I am at. Like, can you imagine if I just gave if I set this up for a kid, and then they can enjoy their own life. They can do what they want to do. And even if they wanted to be something like a social worker, or if, let's say, they wanted to just work as a volunteer, or take what is considered to be a lower paying job, to help the community, like, yeah, like the kid wouldn't have to worry, because by the time they're 32, if this continues to flow, they would have $761,000 in their bank account and rake in $114,000, just because they let this thing go. They just let the process happen. So the first few years, the first 5 years might be really discouraging, but you'll just see it start growing and growing and growing. And if I had a kid, I would make sure the kid sees the mile point. I would say, hey, this is the second year I've invested money for you, third year invested. And they might be like, oh, okay, mom, $3,000, 5,000. Okay, what's the big deal? Oh, look, now we're at 8,000. Oh, look, kid, we're at 12,000. We're at 21,000. Actually, I'll probably hand over control of this when the kid is 18. We'll see. But yeah, I just hope you guys invest. Not financial advice. This is just my opinion, because I think it is very possible, if you just if you just pick a good investment, or you just kind of um if you pick something that seems to have a rate of return of like 15% or 20%, and it's like a long-standing company, not like a company that just like came out within the last 2 years, because you don't know the longevity of those companies, right? Something like Microsoft, I'm not too worried about, or better yet, an ETF. I'm not worried about that at all. QQQ has been around since, I think, 1999. So I have good reason to believe it will probably be around for the next 30 years. So yeah, just invest. Would be my highest recommendation, because time is ticking. You don't have to invest $1,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, but you can start with like $100, or you can even start with $20, and do fractionals. And you will, if you, let's say you invest like $100 a month, right? And then you additionally contribute $100. Like, you start with $100, and every month you contribute $100, right? Starting a month 100, contribute every month 100, 32 years, 15%. Let's see what this turns out to be. Dang, look at that. $100 investment every single month for the next 32 years turns into that. I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people spend close to $100 on their cell phone bill a month. So that's something to think about. And if you don't want to do $100, you could just do a lump sum of $1,200 a year, and just do that for 30 years and let your money grow. So yeah. And finally, I will end it with this yummy chocolate bar that I picked up. The link is in the description. It is 0 sugar added, 55% cocoa that I like. The carb count is, I feel like it's, I don't know if it's just me, but 41 grams seems kind of high. I mean, but it's really tasty, and I like that it doesn't have any sugar. So I will probably buy this again, but not too often, because this is kind of pricey. I think it's like $3.49 for a bar, but maybe once a month. It's a nice little treat to have, or twice a month. Yeah. So that is it. So yeah. I made that video before about investing, and I just wanted to share it with you guys again, because for the people who didn't watch my previous video, I I really want I thought about for my channel, right? I really want all of you guys to start investing, because I don't I've known some people, they work so hard all their lives, and at the end of it, because they don't invest, they just, they look at it and they're like, where did all my money go? Because they're spending it on stupid crap, stuff they don't need, because some of them think like, oh, they gotta live the life of luxury even if they only make, let's say, 40K a year, or they end up with credit card debt. And every time, the longer you go on without investing, it's gonna shorten the amount of time your money can grow. And I hope that me repeating myself on that kind of stuff just sends a signal like, please, you guys, like, not financial advice, but I really, really hope you guys start investing something, because the more you get into this habit, the more you'll be more financially stable, in my opinion, if you just let it draw out for an extended period of time. Now, I could be wrong. There are people who say things like, oh, Erica, the stock market's going to crash and da 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 da. The stock market has been around for many, many, many years, and I don't foresee it crashing, because if it was supposed to crash, it would have, when the situation happened and there were all these, it didn't. Jerome Powell came out with the infinite money printer, and then the stock market surged up. So I know that there's going to be a push to always save the stock market, and even if there's a crash, just remember, as time goes on, stock market might have ups and downs, but long term, it always goes up. Yeah. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. And, yeah, just think carefully, or think closely about making sure you're financially stable. Again, it's not just about making a lot of money as your yearly salary. It's also about investing it, because this kind of stuff, you just let your stocks work for you. You let time kick in, and yeah, $100 a month. I know some of you are making $40,000 a year. $1,200 is not too much. That's like a price of a flat screen TV. Do it for 32 years. You end up with this. You don't have to worry about a lot of stuff. You'll be a lot better than a lot of other people. And it is very strange why they don't tell this in the education system. But I found out from some people messaging me, some friends, or people who watch my stream. They told me that they started investing, and I'm really happy for them. And I want all of you guys to, be incredibly successful. And if my little channel that has 15 people watching right now kind of sparks you guys to be more financially stable, or start investing, and you guys end up with like boatloads of money, then I feel like, I really did a good thing in the world. And I wish this information was more widespread. I don't get jealous when people are successful. In fact, I know more people who are more successful than me out there. And I learn a lot from them. These are people, it's like they have money, and they're comfortable with their life because they've been investing in a long term, and they are not the person who is like flaunting their wealth. They're not the person who's driving in a Lamborghini. Some of them can afford it, by the way, but they are very humble, and they have good hearts. And I feel like they don't have a lot of drama or stress in their life, because they invested, and they know that if anything happens to them, or let's say they have to go to a nursing home, they're gonna be okay. They got funds for it. So they yeah they don't, and for certain people, it's like they don't work anymore, because their investments paid off. And it's like, there could be a thinking like, why would they work? For certain people, because when they're raking in, let's say, over $200,000 a year because of their investments, it's like a $40,000 or $50,000 job, and then getting a boss possibly barking down your neck. It's like, why would you do that? It just doesn't make sense. So um I want to encourage you guys all to invest. And yeah, I'll continue doing my little channel, and you might see some repeats of me doing this kind of stuff, because I know sometimes I might have new viewers on my channel. But ultimately, if I can lessen the amount of stress that some people have about their financial future, and it could just be like, hey, you know what, if you want to, just do $100 a month for the next 32 years, and you'll be okay. Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Yeah, my monetization for this stream is going to be total crap again. But Hey, you know what? I'm not a content creator. I'm not like one of those people who are gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go on YouTube and I'm gonna figure out the algorithm so I can make buku bucks or anything like that. But I just when I find things and when I realize things, I like to share it with you guys, and I hope it helps you guys. I learned so much from you guys, and I enjoy reading the content. And Emily, I know you are in nursing school. If you can, financial advice: think about putting $100 aside in your paycheck, and or $100. You can look up this investment calculator. It's calculator.net/investment calculator. Let me see that. There we go. Calculator.net/investment calculator.html question mark. Look at that, and then whatever, because I know all of you guys have different incomes or different like extra money. See what works for you, and don't get discouraged. Again, don't get discouraged if you look at the first 3 years and you're like, really, I'm just making $95 or something like that. Wait, hold on a second. Why is this so high? Oh yeah, 1 year. So yeah, because you're adding in $100. Okay, yeah, here we go. Because you're adding in $1,200 every year, right? Because $100 a month. So yeah, 1 year you could, oh, I put in like 1,300, and then I only got $95 interest. Like, what is that? Just let time work itself out, and you will see it slowly growing up and up and up and up. And then at some point, you will get to a level where you guys still might work. Some people, they're very successful and they still work, but you won't have that so much stress on yourself in case something happens or if you get laid off. Because I know a lot of people got laid off because of the situation, and I hope that people invested in beforehand, and they built in, let's say, $100 a month nest egg. And if they don't contribute anything, right, it's like they could just write it out, see how that is. But I also feel it's very important to have emergency savings, because you don't know what's going to happen, and in case you need to tap into savings to pay off for an emergency, you have the cash on hand. You don't have to sell off your stock. So I don't have everything invested into my stock account. I have a good amount of savings that I just don't feel comfortable touching, because if I need to, let's say, pull out money, I can just easily do it. Yeah. So yeah, just don't lose the faith. If you start investing, run through this calculator, put in your own amounts, see how it is. And I wish you guys all have financials, and I hope that you guys can live a life that is less stressful. You guys just gotta let the process. And again, I've gotten some people that I know, or I've gotten some messages from people saying that they started investing, and it just makes me so happy, because even if you guys don't invest in the stocks that I am, right, or the things that I recommend, I hope that you guys have one less stressful thing in your life. Sometimes life is really stressful, and I understand and I recognize that if you have if you don't have to worry too much about financial stress, if you see yourself going down a path, you'll be okay. So for me, right? If I did that 10,000 thing investment for my kid at 15%, I know, crap, where is this? I know that as long as it hits about 15%, or even if it doesn't hit 15%, right? I know that money's going to grow over 18 years. So yeah, I'm not planning to take out any of that money if I have a kid, I'm not planning to take out any of that money at all. But if I don't have a kid, right? And let's say I want to do it for myself, and I say, hey, Erica, just invest $10,000 for yourself. If you have a kid, you can cash that thing out, give it to your kid. If you don't, you can spend it on your geriatric care. If something happens, and let's say You know, if something happens, like, yeah, I can tap into that as I get older. And I know some people, it's like they have no desire to get married or no desire to have kids, and I respect that, right? But if you are going to go down that path, and in my opinion, it's very imperative for you to save money, and it's very imperative for you to invest money, and just watch out for yourself, because I know some people, they don't have kids, they don't invest their money, and then they worry about not having enough money to retire with. I know several people, you guys. They they didn't invest, and they're entering retirement age, and they simply cannot afford to retire because they never, because you know the money is short. So if you want to go down that path, or even if you want to go down that path, I think it's very, very important to make sure you have you have the money to take care to for you have money set aside, so that way if anything happens to you, you don't have to rely on other people. Yeah, having a Roth IRA helps as well. A Roth, I would recommend, not financial advice, but I would recommend doing the max contribution that your employee matches. So when I was working at the hospital, for instance, I think it was a 3% match. So they would match me 3% of whatever I put in, or something like that. It was either that or my income, I can't remember. So I did the max contribution for that. I was like, I don't want to put in more money. I'll just do the minimum 3%, because they're going to match me 3%. I chose, instead of putting money into my Roth, I chose to put most of my money into my own stock portfolio, because with the Roth, you have to keep that money in until you're like 65 or so, until you're 65 or so, or you get penalized with tax or something. So for the Roth, I'm like, I don't want to play around with that. I'll just let it sit. But my main portfolio, I want to be able to pull it out in the event that I want to, but I don't plan to do that. Yeah, I thought Roth is 5,000. I thought it was 6,000. Yeah. So yeah. So 6,000 when you turn 65. That's strange, because I'm pretty damn sure I put in 6,000 into my Roth. Um, I'm pretty damn sure I did, you know, and I'm definitely not 65. But yeah. So yeah, just invest your money, and then if you guys can afford it, you know, put more money into your Roth. But again, for me, I'm kind of like, eh. Yeah, I have a. There's also like a Roth B, and I'm not too familiar with that. It's just like I know I haven't touched it at all. Okay, I was like, Emily, I gotta figure out if I'm wrong, and I have to correct my age or something. If it was 6,000. Ah. Ah, okay, yeah, it's 7,000 when you turn 65. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, so if you put in $6,000 into Roth, let's see what this is. See, so I feel like Roth, it kind of sets you up so you can, so you're good at retiring. So right now I'm 32. If I was working and let's say I was retiring, I would be what, 30, 33 years, right? 32 years. Let's say rate to return over here. An additional contribution every year is 6,000. Wow, look at that. Geez, if that went up 33 years, 15%, 6,000. Crazy. The only downside is I can't touch it until I'm 65, right? Because if you remove it, you have to pay guarantee of sorts. So I don't know. I'll be a rich 65-year-old if I put in $6,000 every year for the next 33 years, assuming it had a rate of return for 15%. I know that's kind of overkill when it comes to geriatric care, I think. But yeah. See, so if you, not 65, but 50. Really? So you can pull it out when you're 50? Okay, so let's see. I'm 50, 32, 18 years. Yeah, I know like they have some Vanguard like retirement thingy, like 2050 or whatever that thing is, 2040. You know, like the target age thing. Like, frick, that thing moves so freaking slow. It's like it's slow as hell. Like, I look at that and then I look at tech stocks and I'm like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Not any of this Vanguard stuff. Moves as slow as a snail. Portfolio. Strange, but yeah, my portfolio is mostly tech or online companies like Amazon or JD. I told you guys before, like Amazon makes up about 20, Amazon and JD make about 50% of my portfolio. And I'm really excited about it because I kind of like, I look at the chart and like, even though Amazon isn't moving much, I look at the chart and I'm like, man, if Amazon keeps moving, let's say 20% a year, right? Okay, let's give an example. I don't know how long Amazon's gonna last, but let's just say this. Let's say you put in $10,000 in Amazon, right? Because I always like playing around with 10,000. Right? Let's just say you put in $10,000 in Amazon, and then you have 20% a year. Because I think Amazon's rate of return is. You know what? I can look that up actually. Let's look up Amazon's rate of return. I love this website over here. Year to date. Yeah, I've been fiddling around with these websites. Let's see here. Let's say 2018. Yeah, let's say 2018 to now. Chart 10K. So average rate of return. I'm sorry, you guys. Average rate of return right now from 2018 to 2021 is 38%. So, yeah, can you imagine that? 38% a year from Amazon. I have hope. I have hope that Amazon will go higher this year. I have hope that Amazon 4000 will happen. But if it does, let's say it goes up 25% a year on average for the next 18 years, right? Because that's when I'll be 50. Then if you invest $10,000 in Amazon, that $10,000, even if you don't contribute anything, turns into 555,000. That's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. So, yeah. Put. I don't know going, but if they did go kaput, then you probably wish you invested in something like ETF instead. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in the stream. I gotta put away these plates and put away the plant and eat some chocolate. And I love it so much. But yeah. So if you guys are watching your blood sugar levels, highly, highly, highly recommend this stuff. It's a little pricey at the bar, but it's still cheaper than some of those artisanal bars that I like. I never buy those $7 bars. You know those really expensive, like, I don't know, like, you guys know what I'm talking about, those small batch bars that's made kind of boutique bars. Yeah, I never buy those stuff. I'm always like, frick, I don't want to spend some money on a chocolate bar. Yeah, it is good. So I'm trying to watch my sugar levels, trying to watch my carb intake, and it's been working. I feel more full. I've been trying to have more fats, more protein, eating more almond flour, and I feel fuller longer, and it's great. So, yeah, I shall talk to you guys later. It is about 11 p.m. right now, so I gotta get going to sleep soon, and yeah, stay safe, stay warm, and save your money. Save your money. Like, you don't have to be a total frugal meister, but just remember that the more that you invest and invest in stocks that you believe in, highly recommend looking at like the charts, looking at year-to-date calculators, looking for big companies. The more you'll be you'll be better off in the future, in my opinion. So, and I want all of you guys, you know, in 10 years, like if you invest now, right, in 10 years or so, I don't know if YouTube's going to be around, honestly, in 10 years. I hope so. Maybe I'll make $1 a stream, but anyway, I hope that all of you guys in 10 years are better off financially, or you guys started investing, and don't do any of like the hype stocks. The speculative plays, like don't go all into something like freaking GME, because you guys know like the people who invested all in GME, they put their whole life savings in there, they made their whole retirement account GME, they got burned if they're still holding like 60, 70%, 80%. Not fun, not fun. So don't don't go crazy like that. Some people they maxed out, you know, they lucked out with the GME thing, but a lot of people got burned. And I'm still holding on to GME because whenever I look at the GME, I I see the losses, and I realize like I don't ever want to make that kind of play ever again. So and thankfully I haven't cashed out yet, but my investment in CCIV and my investment in Mara um, wiped out my balance, my negative loss from GME. So from here, I feel like my portfolio can hopefully only go up. And I learned a very important lesson from GME, and that's seeing those losses just just kind of reaffirms that I don't want to put myself in that kind of stress again. Yeah. So I look at my portfolio a little, and I kind of look at the charts, and I've been selling a few stocks off that I looked at. Let's say this website year to date. Freaking, this is an invaluable resource, you guys. Year to date, that you can see if you held on to a stock for a long time, you can see what the year to date return is. If I have a holding and it's less than 25% or 22%, I don't want to keep it. It's like I want to have more growth, so I make money faster in my portfolio. So this is really good to see. And for some stocks, you can look at it, and if it's been around for, let's say, 10, 20 years and it's averaging 30% returns, you don't really have much to worry about. Yeah. And, oh, actually, I'm going to end it with this. I know people are like, damn it, Erica, why are you showing Apple again? If I had invested $10,000 into Apple 18 years ago, right? So right now we're in 2021. This will be 2003, right? Let's see what the let's see what the return would have been. Actually, let me close this. The return, if I invested $10,000 in Apple in 2023, would have been $5 million. Crazy, isn't it? Yeah, I was in high school. No, actually, yeah, I was in high school in 2003. Makes me feel like a total idiot because like I told you guys, like I have a classmate who invested into stocks when I was in high school, and I think she invested $4,000, and both financial advisors. And she told me about it, but she never pushed it. And I look back and I'm like, you dumb Erica, if you had actually followed in her footsteps, you would be really well off. That. And yeah, I don't think she works. I think she lives off of her investment, her investment gains. And yeah, I'm jealous of her. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm jealous because I wish I wish I had that knowledge, and I wish I had that guidance to do it. But I can't turn back time. And she invested in like Apple, Google, Amazon, the big tech. I can't turn back time. I can't change the past, but all I can do is I can share that knowledge with you. And then hopefully you guys don't, you guys can do it now, and you don't have to like think about wasting 18 years and not making a single investment. So, yeah, always a learning experience from missed opportunities, always a learning experience from things that kind of screwed you over, like you guys know about the cryptocurrency thing. And yeah, I just don't want you guys losing out on time like I did. And yeah, so yeah, save money and invest your money and take care of your health and make sure you do that self-care. See ya.